Men don't owe you anything. That's exactly what modern women fought for. You can't demand equality and still expect princess-level treatment. It doesn't work both ways.
This might piss some people off, but I just want to take a moment and say, thank goodness that so many of us are waking up to the fact that modern day feminism is a literal scam meant to disconnect and separate and isolate women from one another. And not only from one another, but from the natural ways of living. Like, this shit literally goes against nature. Modern day feminism says that women should be out in the workforce working 40+ hour weeks while their children stay at home with a caretaker, that they immediately get put in the school system from age 5 and stay until they're 18, if not older if they go to college. And that while women have 4 phases of their cycle that give them extremely different hormone levels and energy levels, that they should be doing the exact same routine every day, every week, and every month. I'm sorry, but fuck that. Like, I am down for the boss babe shit. I am building 2 businesses right now. I think women should be running their own empires if that's what they want. But it can be done the feminine way. Women are meant to be provided for so they can stay home and take care of their children and be the actual parent to their child. They're supposed to rest during their moon cycle. They're supposed to frolic around naked and connect to their bodies and connect to the earth and be the caretaker. They're not meant to be in hustle all the time. They're not meant to be in doing mode all the time. We're meant to be. And we're meant to be in community surrounded by other women, letting them support our children as well. Being in community vibes is essential. And what does modern day feminism do? Separates us from that as well, turns women against each other as competitors instead of allies, and makes us work until we're too tired to function, amongst so many other tragic things. So if you're still stuck in that modern day feminism trap, let me just tell you that you deserve to be rich, you deserve to be your own boss, you deserve to do all of the things a man does too, but there is a unique way that you're meant to do it that is separate on a physiological and biological level from how a man is supposed to do it. And learning to embrace that is learning to embrace your true nature.
It's refreshing to see more women waking up to how modern feminism misled them.
A lot of women have started to wake up, and they are realizing that what third-wave feminism fed them and promised them isn't all it's cracked up to be. I mean, I cannot tell you how many videos come across my TikTok page, my X feed, all of it, that are just like this.
Man, I feel lied to by the culture. But I'm gonna take full responsibility there, man. I fell for it. I fell for the boss bitch, I could do everything by myself, that hyper independent bullshit. And I'm 31 now, and I still don't have kids. I still don't have a family.
And so many women around her age are reevaluating their lives, reevaluating what the hell they were focused on for the last 10 or 15 years, and are realizing that they probably want to change everything. And to me, it's heartbreaking because these women, they really were lied to. The feminist marketing machine of the last 30 years was insane, and not leaning into it, that's a Sheryl Sandberg joke,
I am a woman,
was considered the weird and non-traditional path. If you didn't do that, you were considered the black sheep. In the comments of that video, one person said the 30s will do that. It's like a switch gets flipped. Family over everything. But the sad thing is, that used to just be the norm. From the beginning, from your childhood, family was everything. That is where you put your priorities. Now it's like you have to mature and age into realizing that that is what is most important, which is very sad. Another person said, this is how we will heal our society. Glad to see more women waking up. Another girl said, I'm glad I'm realizing this at 26. I think she's meaning to say I still have a lot of time. Hopefully God puts that good man in my path. Another woman said, yes, I blame Beyonce, independent woman song, the programming started in high school. I mean, that could be just a whole other episode and going through all the cultural icons and the entertainment that furthered this idea that women do not need anything or anyone except their career and themselves to be happy. Now, around the same time that I saw that TikTok back in December, I was sent this story. 38-year-old woman decides that she wants a baby and claims that she has been betrayed by feminism. And on Twitter, this got 8.8 million views and the comments were lit up. So this article is about a woman who did a video for Fox. That's what the screen grabs are from. And she got very vulnerable about her life and her choices and all of it. But she was brought on to Fox because of an open letter that she wrote for Business Insider earlier in the fall. And I cannot believe I did not see this until last month because it is so good. And her open letter is entitled, I'm 38 and single, and I recently realized that I want a child. I am terrified that I've missed my opportunity. I told my friends and family that I'd never get married again. I needed independence, a fulfilling career, and space to chart my own course. And I didn't think marriage fit into that vision. I was content to look towards a future without a husband, children, or the trappings of a traditional life. But then, after a bad breakup and her 38th birthday, she said that she began to feel an incredible urgency to find the relationship and stability to see me through the second half of my life. To my amazement, I began seriously thinking about marriage and children. I hardly recognized myself. I mean, society has told women that nothing matters except themselves, that they don't need anyone else, that they shouldn't want anyone else. In fact, wanting a partner, specifically a male partner, is just indoctrination from the patriarchy. And so you need to completely reject that. Our society needs good women. We need good mothers, we need good families, and we certainly need more children. And I love that she discovered this, even if it's later on.
This is honestly sad to watch.
As a single woman, I'm getting a little worried when I scroll on this app that like all of the good single men, 30-year-olds and up, or near that range, they are, if they're single, they're staying inside and doing exactly what I would want to do, which is like binge a show and like order and take out. Like, why when I'm scrolling, I'm seeing all these like cute men who look like they have their head on their shoulders. They probably don't. Let's just be fucking real. But they're all like staying inside. Like, what I'm trying to do is text a girlfriend and be like, hey, you know what? Instead of me cuddling into bed and binging all of Real Housewives, let's go out. Because I'm just hoping that one day, like, I meet my husband, like, meet cute randomly. Like, I gotta go out and do that, right? I have to, like, actually put myself out there. I have to actually do my makeup and, like, put on a cute outfit and do that, you know? Crazy concept. But I have a fear that all of the good single 30-year-old men are doing the opposite. Hey, get out there. Please. Stop ordering takeout by your fucking self and wait for me to be there with you to do it, okay? Fuck, literally, I don't... Probably gonna run into a douchebag. Pray for me.
We genuinely don't want to be bothered. It's not complicated.
Rather be single than settle for less than that.
Settle for less than the millionaire?
Just to start out, what's the ideal age for a guy that you would be looking to marry?
Like a 5-year gap would be good. So if I'm 28, maybe like he's in his young to mid 30s.
Okay, so like 33, we'll say?
Yeah.
Okay, and you're 28?
Yes.
30, 35, like in that range.
Okay, so want to go like 33 to go in the middle? Okay, and then how old were you? 28?
28.
Okay.
Ooh, I'd say maybe like 26 or 27.
Okay, we'll go 20. How old are you? 21?
21, yeah.
Pick 26 or 27. Pick
26.
26.
Well, I'm 25,
Okay.
so I'd say the max is like 30 or 32.
Okay. Do we want to go with 30 just to be safe?
Yeah.
For like marriage or something like that? Okay.
At max.
29, 30.
Okay. Pick one if you had to.
29.
His income should be something close to about 160,000.
Okay. And then you would contribute around the same amount?
Yeah.
Okay. Because you said the 50-50.
I would like to say maybe 100,000
Okay.
at least. Yeah.
All right. We'll go with 100K.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have to be rich,
Unfortunately. This is so high, but I guess you'd have to be like a millionaire.
A million? Okay.
Probably like 100K and up.
If the average is like 50, maybe like 70 plus, having budgeted like a vacation fund and a savings fund, saving money, fund money, divvying it up that
so
way.
do we want to say like 70K, 80K?
Yeah, I'd say so.
And you also said you would contribute 50-50, so that's 140 total household income. Would that be enough? Does that sound right?
Yeah, I think that sounds great.
Median income for the age that I picked. I would say probably like 70K maybe.
It's actually $49,000.
Wow.
What percent of men do you think make $100,000 at 33 years old? Or like, what is the percent of men that you are wanting here?
I'd probably say maybe 30%.
It's actually 15%. The top
Not too shabby.
15%. So there's one age from 16 to 75 where the top 30% of men make $100,000. So you guess 30%. So we'll try to guess what age that is, since you know it's not 33. Between 16 and 75, there's only one age.
I feel like 45.
73.
Really? Maybe I should go with the old man. Just kidding.
Is that out of your age bracket there?
Yeah.
Trying to take every job into consideration. 30-year-old, I'd say maybe 65. Between 65 and 70 for a 30-year-old?
It's actually 45.
Oh, okay.
And you were the most realistic one so far. So the fact that, yeah, no one's guessing it right, because it's way lower than people think.
As long as you love your job and hopefully are investing it wisely, then I don't see a problem with it.
For a 26-year-old, what do you think the median income is?
I'm pretty sure it's closer to like 60,000.
It is $38,000.
Oh, wow. Wow.
What do you think is the median income for the age that you specified, so a 33-year-old?
I would like to say around 100K, maybe 80K. I'm not exactly sure.
It is a whopping $49,000.
Oh. Oops. My brain was somewhere else.
So, what do you think is the median income for the age that you specified at 29?
I want to say 60K.
45K.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Does that shock you?
Yes, it does.
So I'm just going to put what you wanted in this little calculator here. So $1 million at 29.
I mean, I've met a few. I have met a few.
Okay, we'll talk about that in a minute. So it's a fraction of a percent. The top 1% of men are making 240 at 29.
Okay.
So you're about 800,000 above that.
That's why I'm single.
You said 160,000 at 26. That is the top 2% of men.
Oh, goodness gracious.
At 26. Yes. So think about the valedictorian at your high school, the smartest person you've ever met. They have a better chance of getting into Harvard than you do to find the 2% man. Isn't that kind of crazy to think about?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Not a single realistic standard in sight. And the wild part is they forget they also have to meet the standards of the men they want.
5 things I did as a feminist entering adulthood as now a non-feminist. 1, I constantly had a problem with authority in men in general. From a young age, I was constantly told that authority was given by men, whether that be in the form of a father, a god, authority figure like the police. It was usually given by men, and I could see that. And instead of learning how to work within the constraints of that society and use it to my advantage in a healthy and good way, I instead wanted to burn the entire system down. I truly believe in this world, women are the antithesis of men, in that if a mass amount of men believe one thing or come to the conclusion about one thing, the girls and how they're raised are going to automatically become women that oppose or view that as wrong and that they could do it better. And that's obviously in large part due to our ego. And truly the society that we have is led and styled and molded by so many women, but it is set up in a way that makes you just see the men as the oppressor. And it always goes back to blaming the men for damaging the woman in some way to make her act that way. Which brings me to number 2. As a woman, I was told all the time that I was the prize, and that no matter what I did, no matter how toxic it was, that I was the treasure that needed to be won, and it didn't matter what I did. This led me to make a lot of toxic decisions, and oftentimes my own mother would try to frame it in a way that even the most toxic behavior was only done because a man made me behave that way. 3, I didn't want anybody to have any expectations of me, but I had a ton of expectations of everybody else. I wanted everybody to behave a certain way. I wanted everybody to follow a certain script that I had in my head. I wanted people to think the way I did, and I didn't understand why they couldn't, because obviously I could see things the right way. And honestly, I was defensive, I was very responsive, and I was very hate-filled and angry, but I thought everybody else were the hate-filled and angry ones. I thought I personally could do whatever I wanted, but I resented anybody else for doing what they wanted and thinking what they wanted to think, and I'm like, why? Why are you doing that? And I didn't understand why they couldn't just be the way I wanted them to be. 4, I stayed with men I didn't even really like to specifically, just so I could avoid going home and just so I could avoid sleeping around and being a hoe, but I could still pretend to be a traditional little good girl. It allowed me to constantly be working on myself while getting help with my bills and while avoiding going home and having the safety net of my parents in any way. This caused a ton of avoidable conflict, and I would say I didn't know what I was doing, but I honestly think the constant sadness and anxiety was the objective truth, striving to get out and show me that what I was doing was wrong, and I inherently knew it was wrong, but I continued to do it anyways to benefit myself. And I was just using the excuse that I was young and misguided and angry at the world to then blame others to do shitty things. 5, I got married as an atheist at 19 and immediately agreed to indiscretions the night of our marriage, and then used that as a way to open up the marriage and manipulate the situation to benefit myself yet again in life. And I was checked out. My dad asked if I could see myself spending forever with this dude, and I said for now, and I still married him anyway. And I thought I could get revenge on my ex-high school boyfriend. I thought I could still have a hoe mindset while playing traditional housewife, whatever. I was still working. I still made my own money and paid for my own shit, but it was still helpful. I still had help with my bills that he was obviously helping me with, and it made me look good. As soon as I did manipulate the situation enough to where he did open up the marriage, I immediately left him for being weak. And like, he was weak in a lot of ways and did a lot of shitty things too, but I saw that very early on, and I used it to benefit myself and manipulate the situation and use his shittiness and toxic behavior as a way to justify my own shitty toxic behavior. Toxic ass shit. And I was trying to fool myself into believing that just because he said something was okay, it was okay, even though I inherently knew that what I was doing was not okay. But because he said it was okay, I thought it was okay. Oh, and P.S., I did not take anything in that divorce, not one single penny. Anything that was bought within the year that we stayed married, I gave back to him. It took me realizing that I was the problem, and I couldn't blame a man for the things that I was doing. I have to be accountable for the power that I do have. And a lot of it is very underhanded power that prey on weak men and use them to my advantage, which inherently is not good for society. That breeds more toxic men and can be very disastrous in a lot of ways. All this to say, I was a fool in so many ways. I did a lot of shitty things, and it took me really self-evaluating to realize the mistakes that I was making so I didn't make them again. And it took a man to really set me into my place when I did get into a relationship with him and call me out on the bad toxic behavior when it happened. And now I am in a very successful, happy, healthy relationship that I couldn't ever dream of getting better, but somehow it still does every day. So, yeah.
It's strange how, when a woman acts mature and accountable, you never see other women cheering her on.
We've all seen that TikTok of the women crying because their student loan debt has reached $90,000 with a 17% interest rate. Let's talk about why this is about more than just debt. This isn't just about money, it's about choices. We told an entire generation of young women, don't get married yet, don't have kids, focus on your career first. So what's happened is women have traded their 20s for careers and degrees, thinking that it was empowerment. And now what's happened is women are drowning in debt, in rent, and anxiety, saying that they can't even think about starting a family because they can't afford it. And here's the irony. The homemaker that they laughed at from the 1950s, they had a paid-off house by 30, kids by 25, and way more stability than today's independent boss babe. But hey, at least you got your degree in social justice. Totally worth $90,000 with a 17% interest rate, right? Feminism sold freedom, and what you actually got was debt and delayed families. Oh, and depression. Everybody has depression now. Follow for more coffee and controversy because the truth hits different with your morning brew.
Even worse, Most of them have degrees that won't land them a real job.
Okay, here is why more and more young women are rejecting feminism and just like do not want to be associated with it at all. I think these younger generations have really, really good BS detectors. So on its face, feminism sounds great, right? Equality for all and girls supporting girls. That sounds so beautiful. But the second you kind of test that out, you very quickly find that it has just become a total facade. If I'm putting on makeup for my husband to come home from work, or if I'm cooking for him, they get upset. They don't like that. Like whoever the head of PR is for feminism needs to be fired. They are doing a horrible job because almost all of their representatives who are outspoken, they just seem so miserable, so hateful, so bitter. It doesn't look fun at all. Nothing about that sounds appealing. I think that's why we're starting to see the like trad wife stuff on TikTok, is because people are so sick of the other side, like so done with the angry, man-hating, like putting women down. Ugh, it's boring, it's old, we're done with it. You don't have to like me, you don't have to like other women on social media. You can call everybody names and be upset, but just don't pretend that you support other women, because you don't, and a lot of people are seeing right through it.
The thing that pisses me most off about the whole concept of feminism is that people think that it is anti-men.
Yeah.
And it's like, actually, if you're for women's rights, then you're a feminist. Like, you don't have to be a woman to be a feminist. In fact, we actually need some more men to be feminists.
Yeah.
So maybe it's because it has the word feminine. People think like, oh, we don't want to touch that. Like, I have a girlfriend who, she was like, oh, I'm not a feminist, but, and I was like, sorry, whoa, stop talking about. I said, what did you just say? And she said, I'm not a feminist. I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, yeah, I'm not, I don't have hairy armpits. Like, I was like, babe, like, do you understand? And I went on my Google and I was like, do you understand what feminism means? It means you are pro women's rights. And she was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely pro women's rights. This is a woman who's a CEO of a business, like multi-million-dollar business. Oh, wow. She is like a beast, stunning, beautiful, really feminine, but an absolute animal. Like, and she's standing there going, I'm not a feminist, because in her kind of mind, she doesn't relate to like the way that is portrayed. And I was just like, wow, like we need to rebrand this concept.
Modern feminism has absolutely nothing to do with what genuine feminism was meant to be.
Want to know something wild? Women traded family for a 9-to-5 and then they called it liberation. Just think about it for a second. Our grandmothers prayed for husbands so that they could work hard, raise kids, and build a strong home. That was the dream. Security, love, and purpose. Then feminism came along, told women that being a wife and being a mother is oppressive. So what did we do? We left the home to work for men that don't love us at companies that will replace us the second we get burnt out. That's not freedom, that is slavery in heels. Feminism convinced women that family is a cage and working for a corporate job is empowerment. Tell me this, why do so many women hit 30, are alone, exhausted, and wondering why they feel so empty? It's because you can't outsmart God's design. No promotion will ever replace a husband that loves you and children who adore you. So no, I'm not anti-woman, I'm pro-woman, and pro-woman enough to tell you the truth. Real freedom isn't in a cubicle or a nurse's station, it's in building a legacy. So go forth and multiply.
And, of course, the government cashed in. Double the tax money.
I feel like a conversation a lot of people don't want to have and aren't ready to have yet is how misunderstood and misrepresented feminism is. Like, one, there's this whole trend on social media of my man better pay for this for me and pay for that for me, and he better do this and that for me because it's girl power, princess treatment, feminism, whatever. It's not feminism, and it's actually not women empowerment. It's misogyny repackaged into a pink sparkly bow, because you are perpetuating the idea that a woman must be dependent on a man for resources, for means of living. That being said, you are allowed to have preferences in a relationship. You're allowed to prefer a man who will pay for you, or you're allowed to prefer a man who's rich, but don't put it under this disguise of feminism and girl power, because it's not. If you were a feminist, you would not believe that it's a man's role to provide for you. You would believe that you are supposed to provide for yourself and you can be independent as a woman. But again, don't get me wrong, I like when someone treats me out for dinner. I like when someone pays for me, but I won't expect it. I won't say that it's their obligation, it's their role. A lot of people are going to call me a pick-me or hate on me for saying this, but I go into all my dates expecting to pay for half the bill. Whether or not they decide to pay for the full thing is up to them, but I will not hold it against them if they want to split the bill. Another thing is feminism and how it's misrepresented through publications and social media. We'll get a very accomplished and empowered woman, will paint her face in makeup, put her in a flashy outfit, retouch her face, cinch her waist in on Photoshop, make her tits bigger, call her a girl boss, and the day is done. That's feminism for the day. The same thing that happened 50 years ago, 40 years ago, 30 years ago, 60 years ago, etc. Except this time we're calling her a girl boss, and so it's feminism. No, we're again just supporting misogynistic systems under the idea of, oh, feminism. Here's an example. This is Michael Phelps. He's a legend in the Olympics. We all know who Michael Phelps is. And of course, his magazine covers are showing his merit, are showing his accomplishments. And we go to Simone Biles, and yes, we do have some of her in gymnastics, but then the first two that pop up are her in a dress, her in makeup. It supports this idea that a woman needs to be beautiful, needs to be all done up just to be taken seriously. But of course, she is allowed to feel beautiful. She's allowed to look beautiful. I'm not saying she isn't. But the fact that these are the first few images that come up when you search Simone Biles magazine cover compared to Michael Phelps magazine cover says a lot. Why can't we just celebrate her based off her merit without having to highlight her beauty and her femininity? She's an insane athlete and she needs to be recognized as such. It's all these ideas of my man better pay for me and also different things like that, like the magazine cover, that's causing people to have pushback on feminism because they think it's useless. And it's not. I think feminism is still very much needed in today's society. It's just so misunderstood and so misrepresented that people are starting to resent it because it's seen as abusing the power of oppression. People are seeing feminism as, oh yeah, we were oppressed back in the 1950s, so now you have to give me everything I want. That's not what feminism is. Okay, thank you, bye.
Real feminism uplifts both genders and rejects strict gender roles. A true feminist supports whatever lifestyle you choose as long as you're not harming anyone. Today's version? It's just entitlement wrapped in the word feminism.
I have this eternal struggle where it's like, I want my husband to be the provider, make all the money, pay all the bills, do the adulting things, fix everything around the house, take care of my car, take the trash out, make all the plans, handle our finances. So basically do everything while I just lie around and like only do things when I feel like doing them.
She doesn't want a partner. She wants a father figure. Add this to the growing list of reasons marriage rates are crashing fast. Equal rights mean equal treatment. You don't get special privileges just for being a woman. That's all for today. If you enjoyed this content, make sure to follow for more. Thanks for watching MGTOW Voice. Show us your love by liking, sharing, and subscribing. Support us and help spread awareness for men around the world. We welcome a healthy debate and discussion, so feel free to comment and share your thoughts.